There are three types of people that you want associated with your brand. All I'm saying. Number one, new customers, right? Number two, you want repeat customers. And then you want brand advocates. They're your ambassadors. And those three types of people are important when you are building your brand. So keep those three people in mind. That's my tip for you. You guys have a luxury day.
Hello. Welcome to our very first episode of The Female Factor. My name is Lawrence. I am your host. I am the founder of this amazing podcast that you're going to be enjoying for these next few months, actually. And then I'm also the owner of Chapter A Studio, which is a branding photography business. I'm excited because most clients that I actually work with are amazing female entrepreneurs. And so we have a couple things that really help us highlight female entrepreneurs. We have obviously the Female Factor podcast, and what we do here is we bring our amazing entrepreneurs here as guests to share their stories, their journeys as business owners, as specifically some of the struggles that female entrepreneurs face while building and trying to pursue their purpose, their passion, their dreams, and building their business. We also have Powerhouse networking and branding community, which is community that we use to help elevate and celebrate women in business. Right now, we are more than 70 members strong, which is amazing, and we have members all over the U.S., including some overseas. And so, again, everything is designed to create a safe place for women in business, just because that type of client is very close to our line of work and what we do. So today we have a very special guest. We have Kendra Landers. She is so amazing. I'm going to read your bio to you. So while I'm reading this bio, I want you to do a few things. I definitely want you to comment, let us know where you are watching us from. Second thing I would love for you to do is go ahead and share this broadcast, share this to your networks. Right now we are streaming on Facebook. We're also streaming on YouTube and LinkedIn. So if you're watching from any one of those areas, go ahead and give us a share and a like, and just let us know that you are enjoying what you're hearing so far. So, as a strategist, Kendra dedicates herself to creating an environment where change and growth can occur strategically and systematically. She offers her ever expanding knowledge and expertise to each and every engagement, drawing on years of experience working in the public sector. Her focus is building strategy, branding, skills training, and development, and leadership coaching. She takes a personalized approach to each client, tailoring services to meet their unique needs. Whether you need assistance with leadership development, executive coaching, or a new business startup or training for your organization, she will provide the guidance, the support, and knowledge that you will need to succeed. As the creator of the online learning platform Leadership Strategy Advantage, I need you to take note of that. Leadership Strategy Advantage. She has curated a series of e-learning experiences that are aimed at building the skills necessary for entry level or entrepreneurs, leaders, and coaches. Look, I done lost my place. To get started and further develop their skills post launch. With a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master of public administration, organizational leadership, she continues to seek out relevant knowledge that will assist her clients in achieving their goals. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring up Miss Kendra Landers so that she can introduce herself, and we're going to get this show started. Woo!
Hey, hey.
I don't even have a voice right now, so I'm not even going to strut. But I'm so excited to have you on the podcast, Kendra. This is our very first podcast, so this one is very special to me and the Female Factor community. And one thing I'm excited is to be able to share this space with you so that you can share your story, share your challenges, allow you to get more visibility to your business, and strengthen other entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs who are watching this broadcast. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you time to just kind of introduce yourself a little bit, share what you do, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Awesome. First of all, I want to say I'm so excited to be here with you tonight. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your generosity. I want to thank you because it's people like you believing in people like me and other women entrepreneurs that is that push and that answer to some of the challenges that we face in building and just finding those networking opportunities, those resources, and those relationships that often go beyond what people see when they are presented with a product or a service. So I want to appreciate you for doing the foundational work and for building. And I want to thank our listening audience. I want to thank everyone who's tuning in, whether you're tuning in live or you're having the opportunity to watch this on replay. I want to thank you because time is your most precious commodity and resource. It's something that you cannot get back. So because you've lent your time to us this evening, I just want to take a moment and say thank you. So a bit about me. My name is Kendra. I am the owner of Kendra D. Landers Coaching and Consulting. I've been in business for about 18 months, so I am definitely new to the space. I am earning my entrepreneurial wings or stripes, if you will. As you stated, Lawrence, I have my bachelor's degree in psychology and my master's in public administration with a specialization in organizational leadership. And I've worked in the public sector, serving in human services and law enforcement for the last 25 years. So that's a little bit of the backstory. And here I am now. And thank you again for this opportunity.
Awesome. Wow. The number that stood out to me is 25 years. And I say that interestingly because you pay attention to the 18 months. And but I believe the journey of entrepreneurship doesn't start the moment you become a full-time entrepreneur. I think it's something that we go through as a development over the years, because at the end of the day, when you become a full-time entrepreneur, all the tools that you have gained over the years is now become the primary use of your building as an entrepreneur. So tell me a little bit about that 25 years and what are some of the things that you you hold on to throughout that process that's keeping you as an entrepreneur in these beginning 18 months.
Yes. And it's funny because that was something I wanted to talk about. One of the areas that I really lean into is coaching and consulting. So I would tell people I was a coach before coaching became popular. I've had an opportunity after, serving in with law enforcement to provide services to people that are going through major transitions in life, where a lot of doors have been closed for them, where they've lost hope, many opportunities that they had thought they were going to have, they don't have, maybe because of something in their past. And I've had the opportunity to build with them, to be able to show them that there are answers. I would ask all of my clients, what is it that you're good at? And I would encourage them, even working in law enforcement, you need to start a business. You need to study that thing. You need to hone that skill. You've got nothing but time on your hands right now. So use that time wisely and dig in and really learn about yourself, learn about the natural giftings that you have been given, Everybody has been given something. I use the example of the pearl. And for a pearl to be formed, it's when an irritant has gotten inside of the oyster. And in an effort for the oyster to protect itself and to protect itself from a threatening environment, to preserve its life, it begins to form a substance called nacre around this substance, that's this irritant, this disadvantage, this challenge that the oyster is having. And as it forms this substance, somehow a pearl comes into being. And the value and the worth of pearls can go anywhere from very, very low to millions and billions of dollars. So I made it my business over the last 25 years to meet people from all walks of life, and let them know that what is inside of you is sufficient to bring out your value, your worth. God has placed stuff inside of you where if you just allow the process to happen, if you keep doing the work, that you too can have that pearl inside of you harvested. So I'm a coach and a consultant, but I also harvest pearls. I look at people's lives and I help them use the experiences that they have been through, and even to reach forward to experiences that they have not yet had. But for some reason, they're limited in their thinking, in their mindset. They don't think they can do it. And I help them to see that you have inside of you what it takes to form that pearl. And I'm here to harvest it.
Wow. And what are some of the, because again, the whole point of this podcast, sometimes we're encouraged, even hearing some of the hardship that we might have endured to get to this point. And again, I want to, I think my biggest thing is there are listeners and there are people who are watching the replay who are in a position of not being in entrepreneurship that long. And I get the vibe that many of them don't really consider themselves entrepreneurs yet, or they get discouraged to think they're not enough because of where they are. And so, but the moment the pearl forms is not the starting factor of value, because it takes that process. The process itself is what builds the value to produce the product. So I want you to share some of the process that you endured, and let's talk about the challenges, specifically since this is the female factor, and we're talking about women changing the game, the business game. What are some of the challenges that you had to face in your building process to become the pro that you are today?
Great question. I guess I could probably start that process way back. I can remember things from high school, some of the challenges and some of the obstacles that I had. I remember in the ninth grade being held back in the ninth grade due
Wow.
to things that were going on in my life and in my family. And I remember saying at 16 years old, I could just be a receptionist and I can just get a small job. I think at that time it was paying like $8 or $5. I can't even remember. It's been so long. And then I had people come into my life who noticed and who spoke words of encouragement to me. And then I can't discount the fact that no matter what I had been through or experienced, there was a faith that God had placed on the inside of me. And
Yeah.
being able to go to the Father and ask him about my purpose and ask him what it is that he's called me to do. In this journey, I've worked with children in foster care for about 10 years. Moving from youth in foster care, I worked with children in the juvenile justice system. I watched these young people plow away when all of the odds, were against them. I would tell people that when you look in the dictionary under the word resilience, my picture is going to be there. Because
Yeah.
through this process, it has not been easy. I was a single mother of 3 children. I was going to school to get my degree while managing the kids. I had a full-time job where sometimes the job wasn't as understanding. I worked for law enforcement and I would need to leave, but there was maybe an emergency. So my children, making childcare arrangements. I'm staying up late at night. One of my favorite stories I share with my kids is when I was getting my master's, I would literally sit at my computer crying at 2 o'clock in the morning, saying like, really, God, there's got to be a better way. but the resilience and the purpose that God had placed down on the inside of me, that was the nacre, just that was just kept covering up the things that were irritants, the things that were uncomfortable for me. And he was making me stronger. He was making me resilient. I was a little stubborn. Like I didn't take no for an answer. When I heard no, all that meant is ask a different way, you know? And then some of the challenges that came along is people who everybody doesn't necessarily share your vision, right? You know, the Lord told me, he's like, when I called you, it was not a conference call, you
Mm,
know? And I'm like, well, could you send out the memo?
wow.
You know, so that I can find my tribe. And there were seasons where I just walked with the Lord. And as I came to this place, I had to make a really difficult decision 18 months ago. I
Wow.
had worked for law enforcement for a long time. I had to make the decision to give up something that was very precious to me, my security, what I
Wow.
thought I had put my security in, right? In my job.
Yeah.
And the Lord said, just trust me and go down this journey with me. So I retired from law enforcement, and my coworkers were like, are you kidding? You are so many years away from, you know, this retirement plan, this pension plan, all these benefits. And I just said, you know, I trust God. I knew that He had placed something down on the inside of me a long time ago that had a heart and a compassion for people, who had the ability to help others birth ideas, who had a tremendous amount of strategy and wisdom. And I wanted to
Yeah.
take that from an environment that was a little restrictive and be able to take it where I had a little bit more freedom of creativity and to reach those that others had possibly forgotten.
Wow. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I know that many people, not just female, but male, can relate to just the challenges that you have to go through in order to become who you are today. I know myself, you know, coming off of a job with the company for about 5 years, but being in just a 9 to 5 style job for several years, or more than 10 years, it was a big shock for me to try to get like adjust to entrepreneurship. And did you at any point feel like did you ever have to fight against the feeling of failure when you beginning of that
Ooh,
18-month period transition? I'm sorry, transition
yes, yes.
from that full time to 9 to 5 to entrepreneurship. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, that's a thing. I remember when I gave notice, supervisor suggested that I just take a leave of absence in case things
Mm,
didn't work out, right?
wow.
And it was tempting. Honestly, in that moment, I was like, let me think about that for a couple of days. And I realized that I had to say no to that because if there was an exit clause, I certainly would have exercised it. I cannot even tell you. I had to get to a place. There's nothing like a made up mind, right?
Yeah.
And we choose what we embrace, whatever thoughts, opinions, feelings we embrace. Lots of thoughts will go through your mind, but I learned the power of choice. I learned the
Yeah.
power of filtering out some of those thoughts. I also learned the power of being careful who you listen to when you're going through
Mhm.
transition, what your eye gates see, what your ears hear, what your heart embraces. Failure for me is just not an option. I have three amazing children. They're my cheering squad. My mom, I have her support, and a few other people in my community. So it does get difficult. Your why and the impact that you're trying to make has to be so significant that
Yeah.
your fears have to bow to those things, right? So
Yeah.
the lives I'm called to change are so meaningful to me that when I have self doubt, I put that aside. I take it to prayer. I talk to people who encourage me and who see the vision, and that's not
Yeah.
everybody. I got to tell you, it's not going to be everybody. And then I get back up, and as long as I am moving forward, I am never going to be in the same place I was yesterday. And if
Yeah.
that's what I encourage my clients to do, then I have to do it as well.
Oh, wow. Phew. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I think my biggest takeaway from what you're saying is that fear was going to come, failure, the fear of failure is going to come, but we have the choice and the power to go above that and to not react to failure or and is it Is it me, or does fear and failure almost run hand in hand? You're gonna deal with fear. You're gonna deal with the thoughts of failure, but we, it becomes a skill when you learn how to deal with them. And not
Right.
come subject to them. You have to deal with them head on. One of the things that I've always said when talking to clients who are starting businesses, and they usually come to the studio for just headshots, they'll typically ask me about how I got into entrepreneurship. And one of the common themes that I notice with those that I talk with is that there is a fear.
Mm.
And I explain to them, and and I think this is where a powerful revelation hits here. Um, Fear is not the absence of faith,
Right. Mm.
which
Okay.
means, what they say, do it afraid.
Yeah.
That gives us the ability to do it afraid. That gives us the ability to advance even when we're fearful, because it's not the opposite, and it's not the absence of it. But the scripture says that perfect love casts out fear. And when you have a fear problem, it's because there is a misunderstanding of love
The love of God.
and
Yes.
God's love for you, because that means you don't fully understand that God's love is his protection and his covering. It's his grace, and it's definitely his guidance. And he will not lead you into a trap. He will not lead you into destruction, because that's what his love is all about. His love is about prospering you, and elevating you, promoting you, developing you. Is, yes, that means you're going to hit some things, and there may be times where you may fail certain projects, but it doesn't mean that your purpose has been lost
Right.
and your journey has been in vain. It just simply means God is literally developing you in the process,
Absolutely.
and you have to keep going in order for the development to keep happening. Because if you don't, what happens is there is a abortion that takes place,
Right.
and that's where we become stagnant in our
Right.
endeavors. And believe it or not, there's no such thing as standing still. You're either moving forward or you're moving
Go
backwards.
backwards.
Stagnant is just a form of moving backwards. And so I just wanted to really highlight that. But let's talk about some of the good things that have happened since you've made that leap of faith. What are some things that you now have and you possess? And it doesn't have to mean natural things, but it can
Mhm.
be spiritual things as well. What are some things that you've gathered since these 18 months of starting that you did not have prior to becoming a full-time entrepreneur?
Right. Really good question. And I just wanted to touch on when we talked about failure, it's
Hmm.
like I had to reframe failure as looking at just an opportunity to show you what doesn't work. And the
Yes.
more that happens, the more I rule out these possibilities, the closer it gets me to where it is that I'm going. So if it doesn't work this way, okay, not a problem. You tried it. Get up, shift it, try it that way. And the importance of reaching out and asking trusted voices for strategy and idea, always being a learner,
Yeah.
always being open. So some of my triumphs, some of the good things that have happened since I began this journey, I have assisted two of my clients with writing and publishing their books, which was huge for me. I'm working on the third one, which will be
Mhm.
done at the end of the month. So that's 3 books in a year that I have been able to assist with writing and getting published. Additionally, I have built an online learning platform, and it will be complete close to the end of this month. And it has 30 courses that will be affordable, very affordable for new entrepreneurs, because one of the challenges I had when I was looking for resources was that it was very expensive. So I
Mhm.
would say, well, if I had $50,000 to start this venture, then I wouldn't be coming to you. I'd be starting the venture, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
talking to coaches and consultants, I found that it was difficult to find hands-on experience, affordable information for things as simple as like how to build a business plan from scratch, understanding why you need a business plan, how to build a course and learning methodologies, not just so that we can go out and say we're coaches and consultants, so that we can have the skills and the expertise and the knowledge that was there. So I'm very excited about the platform Leadership Strategy Advantage. I've
Yeah.
also worked with some people who've had these pearls on the inside of them for a long time, and they just needed someone to kind of help them to, like I said, to harvest them, to where we've been able to sit down and do strategy sessions. And at the end of those calls, to hear someone say, wow, like I knew it was possible. I just didn't see how it was going to happen or how to get
Yeah.
there. And for them to say to me, I believe God sent you, to
Mm.
help me. That to me was pretty powerful,
Right.
because it let me know that I was acting with destiny, with mine and with theirs, and in alignment with the Father's will. And those might not be people that I will never get on a stage and say, oh, I helped them get there. But
Yeah.
behind the scenes, to know that you've helped somebody birth something that was that important to them has really, really been a blessing to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're about to wrap this up because, but I definitely want to just kind of highlight just a little bit of what we've really talked about today that I really want our watchers, our viewers, as well as those who are watching the replay to hold on to. Number one, you're going to go through some challenges and hardship. It doesn't matter what your situation is. You are built for the situation that you are in now. And I'm not saying that so that you can stay in it, but I say it meaning you were built with a solution to handle the situation that you're in so that you can go through it and become what you've been called to become. And then two, the things that you have to look forward to is, there is success when you take that leap of faith. There is success. There are things that you will gain in the process. I'm pretty sure peace is going to be one of those things. You want to be able to smile again. Now, as an entrepreneur, you're going to have nights where you're a little bit overwhelmed, because of bills and expenses. And
Life.
you might have months where you have clients, and then you might have um, a whole season where you're waiting for clients. But in the midst of any season that you're in, keep building, keep perfecting, keep pushing, because you will see the harvest if you faint not. And so I want
Yes.
to give this
That part.
last moment. Yeah, look, that part, right. I want to give this last moment to you, Kendra, to share some services that you are available for right now, as well
Okay.
as ways that they can actually connect with you. And I'm going to
Okay.
jump off on the stage so that you can have all the attention. And so you guys show her all the love here. So the floor is yours, Kendra.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank everyone who has tuned in tonight. Thank you for giving us again your time. And I just want to send a word of encouragement. If you are out there and you are thinking about starting a business, you have started one, you're somewhere in between, you know that the Lord has a bigger call. Like He's called you to do something great in the earth by way of leaving legacy and bringing His kingdom into the earth. I just want to encourage you that He's no respecter of person, and that He has purposed you for such a time as this. As far as what I do, I'm a strategist. So I work with people to develop strategy and infrastructure necessary to bring that vision to life, to harvest the pearl that's on the inside of them. So I sit with you, you can share your vision with me, and we just pray forward, and I share whatever the Lord has placed on my heart to share with you. You share your goals, and we come up with a blueprint and a strategy step by step to help you to achieve it. This is definitely client centered, so you set the pace, but I'm definitely there to encourage and to push you. You can reach out to me for a free consultation. I can be reached, probably the fastest way is through Instagram at Leadership Strategy Advantage. And you can go there. My link tree is there. You can schedule a free consultation, and we can talk about what it is you're birthing. And we can talk about how I can help you to do that. You can also follow up on my website, www.kendradlanders.com. And on my services page, it gives an extensive list of services. You're not going to find any pricing on any of the websites. And the reason for that is because what I provide to you is going to be a unique package, something that is suited for you both economically and as far as where you're at in your process right now. So I would rather come to the table and share value with you, share some strategy, inspire you a bit, give you a little bit of a push. And then if we find that we're a fit for each other, then we can move forward and we can talk about those kinds of things. But I don't want price to ever be an obstacle. I want people to be able to reach out and feel free doing so. So hopefully I will hear from you soon. I did want to mention an event that is coming up on August the 5th. I am sponsoring the Pearl Effect. It is a women's empowerment day. It is virtual, so you don't have to worry about travel. I am personally located in Atlanta, Georgia, but it is a virtual affair. You can connect with me. I believe Lawrence is going to post the flyer. I can tell you how to register for that event. It will be 6 seminar hours. There'll be games, prizes, lots of strategy. We're going to talk about branding, marketing, content creation, content management and development, 501(c)(3)s, writing grant proposals. We have so much information that we want to share with you. So hopefully we'll have the opportunity to connect at the Pearl Effect on August the 5th, 2023. So thank you so much again for joining. I'm Kendra, and I look forward to helping you find the pearl that has been placed down on the inside of you. Thank you again, Lawrence.
You are so welcome. So you guys heard it directly from Kendra herself. Make sure that there is action, that you are following up with her. The website is actually on the bottom of the screen right here, along with her IG. So I need you to connect with her. Get all the necessary tools that you can from her. Be on the lookout for the learning. Remind me what it is.
Leadership Strategy Advantage.
There we go. Leadership Strategy Advantage. I told you guys to remember and I forgot myself. Leadership Strategy Advantage. Be on the lookout for that platform so that you guys can get all those amazing videos and start learning how to really develop the leadership in your business. I am super excited. And so we're going to say goodbye to Kendra. Thank you so much for being our very first guest. We are super excited about your future. I'm excited about, oh man, I see so many good things that are happening. I see amazing contracts coming your way. I see some awesome agreements, people that are going to be reaching out to you. I don't even know why I hear the word college, but there's something dealing with college that's going to be connecting with you. I don't know if it's alumni or if it's some college or as far as teaching wise, but I am super excited for those open doors for you. So thank you so much. I might have you back on here again to share some of that knowledge because you definitely brought it. So thank you so much. I am so humble.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, you guys. So that was the first episode of The Female Factor with our guest, Kendra Landers. I think we did phenomenal today. She did awesome. And again, I want you to connect with her. I'm giving you a couple more seconds to grab the details before I remove the ticker here. But I'm going to play I'm going to show the flyer for you guys on ways to register for the events that she mentioned. And you can also visit my website, chapterastudio.com/the female factor. That's where you're going to be able to watch the replays, as well as if you are interested in becoming a guest speaker for the podcast show, you can actually submit that request on chapterastudio.com/the female factor. So thank you so much, you guys. I have another phenomenal guest coming next week that you guys are going to absolutely love. In the meantime, make sure you connect with us. Follow us on Facebook. We're actually using the Powerhouse Networking and Branding House to broadcast this on Facebook. So look for Powerhouse. Well, I'll tell you what. If you go to the website, chapterastudio.com/the female factor, you'll actually see the social media pages that we're streaming. So make sure you connect with us on all three. Okay. Thank you again. And this is goodbye until next time.